This is Gauntlet. This was an arcade game in the early 80s. It was a pretty fun arcade game. It was a basic dungeon kind of crawler thing, but it was a 4-player game. The arcade version actually had 4 joysticks, so up to 4 players could play the game at once. There were 4 different characters. You could only play one of each of the 4. So only one person can be the warrior, and only one person can be the elf, and those kind of things. This is the Commodore 64 version of Gauntlet. Unfortunately, this is not a complete set. It's just a disc and a manual. The manual's, it's kind of lame. It's got all the port versions, Commodore, Atari, and some instructions. It's pretty straightforward. Basically go in and kill everything that moves. And this is the disc, the original disc. Nothing exciting here. It's write protected. Somebody actually write protected it. I don't know if that was original or not. But I'm going to play this on Commodore 64. So let me adjust the camera here and turn off the light so it doesn't blow you out. Turn on the monitor. Turn on the disk drive. And turn on the Commodore 64. And load the game. This is VMAX. It's a fast loader. It was on a lot of different games. So it doesn't take too long to load. Of course, I am playing this with a joystick. One of the problems with the Commodore 64 version versus the arcade version is the Commodore only has 2 joystick ports, so you could only have 2 players. That kind of limited the fun, I guess. I don't know for certain, but I know the Atari has 4 joystick ports, the 2600 and also the 800. So I suspect the Atari versions of this game would allow you to have 4 players. Probably made it a lot more fun. That's sort of the point of the game. Anyways, you press space to continue. These are the instructions. Player 1, joystick 1, and the magic button is the space bar. Player 2 is the joystick 2. I don't have one connected. So you press space to go to the main screen. I'm going to play 1 player, and then you can choose your character. Thor the warrior, Questor the elf hunter, Merlin the wizard, Thyra the Valkyrie. I like the warrior, so I choose that one. Wait a moment for the load. Doesn't take too long. Press fire to start the game. And this is my guy up here. Some sort of a power-up. These are the enemies. You can only shoot in the direction they're coming at. And one of the things about this game was this is a key which will unlock this gate. The enemy logic in this game was pretty lame. They always come at you from the same direction. So if you wanted to just sit here, notice how they always line up when they get stuck behind these things. But they always come at you from the same direction. That was a problem or a feature of the arcade version too. So I could literally sit here and just wail on the fire button and crank up my score. That's kind of lame. So I'll shoot some of these. They'll keep spawning until I knock out these bone piles, and there's several bone piles. And just not much to it. They'll run into me sometimes, but I don't care. they're spawning too fast for me to hit the bone piles. Yeah. Come up to the bone pile here. Another thing about the Commodore version versus the arcade version had a narrator, and he would say certain things like "warrior needs food badly" and other things like that. And there's no voice in this game, so I really don't consider this to be a good port of the arcade game. It's an okay port, not exactly the most fun game. I'll open this gate and all these guys will come at me. And I don't remember how to do this, but basically come up here. There's a million bone piles that you gotta kill. Get some health. Knock out these bone piles. Some more health. This E is an exit. It'll take me to a next level. Level 8. So, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, those are bone piles I gotta knock out. You can probably see it's more helpful to have multiple players too, because you got things coming at you all sorts of directions. So anyways, I'm not going to play too much longer. Just a quick gameplay of Gauntlet for the Commodore 64. Thanks for watching.